Hey guys, welcome to Carmen Katharine's Wreath. So today we're going to go over some basics and I'm going to make two wreaths, two different wreaths in one, but there's going to be two different setups so I can show you. So the first thing we're going to do is cut our mesh. So I go over this every time because I get a lot of questions. So I think it does make a difference. Someone asked me about the plexiglass. It does make a difference. For some reason, when I do it on a regular cutting board, the tip kind of gets stuck or it'll burn the board. So yes, I agree. Definitely use plexiglass or a glass from a picture frame. Either way. But you definitely want to make sure that this is seated with your rocks. Very secure. We're going to do 4 again today, like we did on my last one. Got a lot of people asking. The tip, it looks like almost like a stencil tip, but it has that little curvy tip to it. There's only one of these in a pack. It is the plaid wood burner. You can buy it from any craft place, or you can go to even Walmart sells them. Make sure it's the 2-in-1. It has to have this tip or it's not going to work. So you're going to make sure that this is seated down correctly. You're going to hold with one hand secure, and you're going to start. Now when you get to the one piece, you're going to bring 2 fingers on one side, one on the other. Please be careful you do not burn yourself. Hold it down. And don't rush through it, because if you rush through it, it's not going to have that clean cut. That is 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And today we are doing a fall wreath, so you might get a little teeny one. Just snip it. So again, pull it all the way up to the very top. This 10 1/4 inch. You also want to try to keep these as even as possible when you roll them together, because it kind of melts it, kind of keeps it a little like melting together. And again, make sure you wear your mask. It does smoke. There's a chemical that goes off when you use any fabric and any type of heat. So I can clearly smell it. Again, hold it firmly with 2 fingers. Start your cuts. Bring your 2 fingers over. Hold securely. And don't rush. Please don't rush, because then you're going to not make an even cut. There we go. We have 4 again. 2, 3, and 4. So this is orange gold, gold, yellow gold, and brown. It's our fall colors we're using today. So we're going to go ahead and put this up, and I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, so I am using olive green. It's a 21-inch roll, 10 yards, and I got it from Paper Mart. We are going to do 2 fall. One is a Halloween wreath and the other one is a fall wreath. And they're not flowers, they're regular wreaths. We're going to basics. This is a 12-inch 4-ring wreath form. Now we're going to use the whole entire pipe cleaner. You're not going to cut them in half, because we're going to be adding to it. So when you put these on, you can't just twist it, because it's going to move on your bar. You're going to want to put over the bar and then twist. This securely keeps it on so it doesn't move. See how that one is? So that's not on right either. I just wanted to show you, because it will go up and down. You want it to be secure as possible. So over the ring, make sure this is on the other side of it, and you're going to twist. See? Does it move? Nice and secure. We are using all 4. So you're going to go all the way around on this, and I believe, count it in my head. So and make sure that it's on both of them. Sometimes that little thing likes to get stuck in it. Sorry about that. Twist. Make sure that it's secure, like I said, or your fabric's going to move on you. And I can't stand when I'm trying to work on something and it moves all over the place, because it kind of ruins what you're trying to do. So you're going to go all the way through it and add these in. So the thing that I was using was your plexiglass, like I was explaining. You can Google it. They have it at Lowe's. So you can buy it at any hardware store. If you have an old picture frame, one of those like poster board picture frames, not like a picture frame, a poster board. That's what that is. That is plexiglass. So you can take your poster out and use that. You can also cut that in half. That way you have one on your painting board where I paint everything and hot glue it, and one underneath where you're cutting your mesh. It never even dawned on me that that actually works. That's what's making it work. It's not just the wood burner alone. Kind of gives it a slick little feel to it so it doesn't get stuck, and that's actually what's helping me cut the mesh. So that is definitely a good trick. So thank you, my friend, who mentioned that to me. Thank you very much. I know it was doing something different. So you're just going to go through the whole thing, add them on. Before you even cut your mesh, you should go ahead and do this. I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing. So you see, as you get to the second roll, you don't have to overlap it because it goes in between both wires right here. So all you got to do is just twist it. So your third row is the same way. You're just going to twist it over. You're going to go over your bar like we did on the first one when you get to your last row in the inner circle. Try to make sure these are even. I know it's not going to be perfect, but you're going to need every bit of it as we go through this wreath. Okay, so that was 24 pipe cleaners. So you're going to take it and fold it in half, and fold it in half again. It doesn't have to be perfect. You are going to leave a little bunch right here. Securely tie it. What I do for that is that's when we use our half pipe cleaners. Cut them in half. You are going to need 4 of the half ones because you're going to securely tie it down. It doesn't even have to be this big. It could be a little bit smaller. But you want it down because it's going to be tucked underneath so no one's going to see it. So the most important part about this whole thing is you are going, see how we start right here at this bar? The way we measure our mesh to make this kind of wreath is you're going to measure it 1, 2. So you're going to go to 1. Where you start is 1. This is 2. This is the third one, but it's 2 little openings right here. You're going to go there. That evenly places your little poof all the way around your wreath. Securely put it on. Now, if this comes loose, remeasure it because it has to be in a complete circle. And if one little poof is not the same as the other, it messes up your whole circle. So there we go. 1, 2. So you know that's 3 bars over, but you have 2 little sections. So I taught you guys how to do the curl wreath with the snowman. Now we're going to do this. See how that's even all the way around. So I did do my grand opening yesterday on SD. So I am on SD if anyone's interested in buying my wreaths. I put a link on my page on the YouTube. So 1, 2. Now when we get back around, please don't forward me so I can show you how to get to your next row. Because if you forward me, you're going to have a big gap and it's going to be uneven. Okay, so now we're going to our second row. So you can't just go over and put it on, or it's going to look funny, and then you'll have one that has 5 and the other that has 4. What I do is I go down a notch where the pipe cleaner is, twist it around, and then you start your new row. This is all covered up once you decorate it and you fluff it out. So you're going to go again, 1 bar, 2 bars, but it's 2 sections, 1, 2, 3 over. You always count the 1 that you start with. You even have to measure it, even in the inner circle as you're putting the poof in, because that makes a difference in the way it looks as well. If you're using your 5-inch or your ribbons or even the 10-inch, you're going to have to add double the fabric to get it the way you want it when you're using this style. I always use a 21-inch. So again, 1, 2, 3, measure, over, and twist all the way around. 1, 2, over. Okay, so now we're going to go to our third row. Again, you're going to go down where it's at on your bar, and you're going to twist it to start your third row. See how we go down with each one? So then you're going to measure it again. Your 1 section, which is 1, 2, 3, and they get smaller as you go around because you're getting closer to the center. Now, I've used on the 18-inch, you're going to use that whole row, and it's perfect. So, there, and then go all the way around. You're going to repeat that till you completely get to your 4th row. Okay, so I went ahead and I did the 4th row. Alright, so see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on each one. And we went down on each level and tied it securely. So now, you're going to want to take it a couple inches. Remember, it's the inner circle, so there's not a lot of room on there. So you are going to cut it. Got the wrong scissors again, sorry. So if you were doing an 18-inch wire reform, it would use the whole entire roll of the 21-inch to make it. The whole thing you would use on one. So you won't have all the cutting to do at the end. Just seal it. Sorry about that, buddy. Everyone knows my dogs are here. So again, you're going to take your half of a pipe cleaner and you're going to securely tie that down. You have 2 options with this. So, you know, I've seen a lot of people do the loop wreath. It's the same concept, but you're doing 2 in 1 and you're not using as much loops. Or you can poof it out and just decorate this without adding anything else. That's the easiest one. This is the easiest one you can do. And so it's got plenty of fabric on it. When you add your decor on it, it's going to fill it completely up because you're going to pull it and you're going to fluff it all the way up. Okay? Before I do this one, which I'm adding my loops on these, but they are full enough you don't have to. So I have this welcome fall sign, and it had a hole right here, and my husband drilled another hole in the bottom. You're going to take your floral wire. You want to put it through both of them. I try not to use glue on the fabric as least as possible, so if I can wire it on with floral wire, then I do. And a lot of stuff I glue on, because I do glue on these as well to decorate, because there's only one way to do it. So, so you're going to take this, you're going to put it in the center. I'm going to show you. Put it back here. And put it underneath your wire. Securely put it on. And you're going to do one on each side, and that holds it on. So, as you can see, this quite fills it up. So these, your pipe cleaners, you have a choice. You can add to it, like I said, or you can tuck them in. Usually if I'm using a center like this, I'm going to just go ahead and trim the two closest to the center, and then tuck them all on the wire. But I always cut them, unless I know I'm only going to need exactly 1/2. I leave it on and cut it afterwards, because then you're going to be not left with enough of the pipe cleaner to decorate, and the least you put on the wire, the better, because it doesn't have such a mess. So this is securely on. So as you can see, if I put any decorations right here on it, it's going to take away from your sign. So you're going to go ahead and, so I see that I don't need that much. If you wanted to cut it in half, you can. Now, if you're using burlap or anything else, remember that the fabric is much, much thicker. So it depends on your fabric. Make sure, see how it came loose? That's why I always go over it. And you're just going to put it over your bar, tighten it down. And these are clean little ones, so you don't have a lot. This is why sometimes I wish I would have just left it longer, because it's easier to get around if you leave it on longer. So, you take this one, go underneath. Now you're going to take the first two and you're going to twist them and go over. You want to at least get 2 twists before you trim it down. Now if you cut it in half, it's going to make it really hard to do that. So just cut. Go all the way around, and also do your second bar up as well. And then we'll get to putting on the rest of our decorations. Okay, so I went ahead and I tucked them all underneath, because I'm going to actually poof it out and do a decor with our welcome fall wreath. So I'm going to put that over here, as I'm showing you 2 different ways. I went ahead and I made an orange one. I put a spider web in the center with an orange spider. You can attach your spider on the spider web with your floral wire and wrap it around the spider. You can't see it. It's so tiny and invisible, nobody will be able to tell, and you're not ruining your mesh or the spider web. So I went ahead and put one in the center. So with this particular one, I tucked the 2 under, and we are going to use the last 2 to apply more mesh. And I went ahead and I cut orange and black. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill those last two up. This is a really easy wreath. I'm not using a lot of decor. I'm using one simple little thing, the center, and then I'm filling the rest up with my 10-inch squares of mesh. So what you're going to do is, the reason why we left our pipe cleaners open is because we're going to use our mesh. And you are going to trim it as you go. You do not get a lot of gray with this. I use the 10 inches because when you're working with colors, if you only use a 4-inch, it's not going to show the colors as much, especially when you're working with two-toned mesh. So it makes them pop a little more. So you're going to add, and see how it goes in the center, and you're going to move them around. So this one will go this way, and the one over here will go like this. So you're going to add all the way around, and it's going to turn into a festive Halloween wreath. Now you can get any signs that you want from anywhere and put them on the center. This is leftover stuff I had from the year before. So this is probably $1 maybe. So you can do anything with it, but you go ahead and you're going to apply it all the way around, and then we're going to poof it out once we get all this mesh applied to it. And you can do like the black first, then the orange, or either one. It doesn't matter. Make it yours. Be creative. But I do want to show you, because we're going to go ahead and fill her up. So this is going this way. So we're going to, this way, going like this. We're going to put, and you might even want to use more than 2 in each one, because I do, as long as it fills up nice. And see, there's a little piece of mesh that got snaggled, so I'm going to go ahead and trim her. But this is going to fill up. You're not going to have any gaps once you put it all the way through. This is really easy, guys. This is like basics. And it fills up really nice. I said some people like to put their decorations on each little poof as well. So it's really up to you. As I get more Halloween decor in, then I'll start to play with it. And I'll probably add more to this once it's in. Right now it's the middle of summer, so nothing's in right now. And I don't have much left. So I'm using what I had in my storage bin. So if you want to add more, add more. It's, like I said, it's totally up to you how much you want. I'm going to leave it open because I want to add another one. But I add one at a time. Some people do the looping technique. I don't, because I'm not adding 6 or 5 on there. And you're already having your main canvas color. So you're just adding a hint color to everything. You don't need all that. So it's kind of like a loop and a standard wreathing mixed into one, basically. But go ahead and fill her up, and then we'll poof her out. So I went ahead and I put some on each one. Now, I think it needs a little more, so I'm going to leave the second one open. But you're going to want to take your last one, and you are going to tie it as tight as you can against that bar, because that's what keeps the shape. Remember, we still have to fluff it all the way too. So these are fat wreaths, by the way. These are not no little skinny wreaths. These are my big fat wreaths. So I think I measured it at 8 or 10 inches, maybe 11 at one time. It depends on how much stuff you put on it. So definitely as tight as you can against that bar, because now we're shaping it. Once you start adding, you're going to start shaping. So, and you're going to want, so I like I said, I like them going one way in the center and then at the top next to your poofs. Again, you're going to take it, you're going to go as tight as you can. Now not tight where you're going to break it. Just tight to hold it down, because you don't want it to come loose, because then your whole wreath is coming apart too. Like I said, it also shapes it. It keeps the poofs on the other side of that bar. It's really, really easy. Because we're not using that much on this particular one, this is fun to do with children. So they can pick out all their little decorations. Like I said, you can add on each poof and put decor on it too. So I always do the combo. I have done the loop wreath, but I actually like it better like this. It gives you more options to decorate your wreath. You're not just decorating it with your loops, you're decorating the whole entire thing. It gives you more options. So, and you have each little poof to put something on, plus in the center. So you could be real creative, and you can come up with a lot of neat stuff with this wreath. So I love doing this style. I'm not a big Halloween person, but I like the colors, and I like the style wreath. So see, I think I want to add one more before we tighten it down. And this is where the colors are a lot of fun. So you see how we got 2 on each one? I think I don't have enough to do that, so we're going to have to pull them apart, because you can, wait a minute, I might actually have enough. There's 6, yes I do. So with mesh, you can mix your colors too, and when you have one higher than the other, it gives it the 3D illusion. So I really like that, and it curlies up with the 2 different colors. Just make sure you have enough of your pipe cleaner to do this. So that's why I always use the whole thing, and I don't cut them in half. So I'm done with this one. There's only a little bit left on it, and I want to go ahead and attach it. So I'm going to go to the bottom, turn it down. Let's see if I can get it. I can. And attach it. Just my dog's playing, sorry. Playtime for our baby. Babies, we have 4 dogs. So you'll attach it. There's not much left on it. And that is how you get this to look like that, and you can't even see the pipe cleaners. It's a lot of fun. It's not hard to do at all. And we still have to poof it. That's your finishing touch, is the poof. So then you're going to do it again. And there's 6 of these. Then we're going to go to the wreath that's just like this, but in our fall harvest style. And we are going to decorate her. And we're not using any extra mesh. We're doing it all decors. You can see this is 2 wreaths in one. You can do the loops on it, or you can just do decor and fluff it out. Easy, easy, easy. This is like basic. So you don't, I know some of the wreaths I was doing, a lot of people don't like cutting those petals. It's repetitious. But if you get the hang of that wood burner, as you saw, I went from showing everybody with only doing 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 pieces at a time. So practice makes perfect. Just keep practicing. And also remember, what you think is ugly may be somebody's favorite wreath. So don't ever be too critical on yourself, because we're the worst critics on ourselves, and it's probably a beautiful piece of art you're making. So I see a lot of people like, oh, I don't like it. What is it missing? It looks horrible to me, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So I just want everyone to know what. And I've learned it on my own, because I'm the worst critic to myself. I may hate what I'm doing, but other people love it. So what, like one man's junk is another man's treasure. Same thing with our wreaths. So, okay, so as you start to form your mesh the way you want. Remember, I showed you how to tuck it in. So each one goes in a little at a time as you're forming your wreath. Doesn't go all the way in because you still want it to have some texture. So you're forming it, and when you put your little loops down, it kind of shapes it so you're not fighting with it from the back. So in just a little bit, not all the way, and you're going to just form her the way you want her. This all goes up. This is a very, very easy wreath. It's very easy for beginners. Anyone can do it. Fun with children. Lots of fun. So what I will say you can do, when I cover the backs of these, I try to go with the same like color. So if you want to bring out the center, just like with the snowman wreath, I did a shadow box. So we're almost doing the same thing, but we're doing it with your Halloween wreath. So if you're using a purple center, then you can put a black to pop the purple. We're using gold and black. Don't know if I might not have any to match today. Let's see. So I would probably use like a light orange or a white to go in the back. But you can use either foam or felt. And when you put this on the back, you're going to use your zip ties, or you can use your pipe cleaners because you're not gluing it, but just showing. And you can put just over the center. It doesn't need to go over the whole thing because this is a bigger piece. If you want to cover the whole thing, you can put your foam on it. It's much bigger. So let me show you. So when you turn it around, you are going to have almost like a 3D type. See how that orange just brightens it up? So like I said, you don't need it all the way because it's covered with your mesh there. You just want it just around the centers. And you're going to trim the little corners. So I would actually probably use your zip ties. That would probably be more sturdy. What you're going to go right there, and you're just going to put a little teeny hole. You don't need anything big. Just be careful you don't hurt yourself. I always say that. You know why? Because I've cut my finger before. I have hurt myself. And this is a little tougher than your foam. It's probably my scissors again. I always use the wrong scissors. 100 different pairs of scissors, and I tend to use the wrong ones every single time. Yep, wrong ones. See that? Knew it was the wrong one. So you can take your zip tie and put it in the hole there. Make sure that it's just over the center. You don't need it all the way because you have the mesh covering it. It's just enough to highlight that center. So if you're using like a purple design and you want that to pop, use black over the center to make that pop. It's really not that hard to do. This is easy. This is fun. Like I said, grandkids, children. I have 4 grandbabies. Love it. So arts and crafts became my way of dealing with pain issues. I had 3 back surgeries, and I also had a brain tumor, and I went through treatment for that. And the way to keep my mind sharp, so I'm not forgetting things all the time, was wreathing. It's very healing. To me it is. It's a healing way of art for me. So, it's a little history on me. So, I actually dream about wreaths like most of you guys do. I wake up, dream about it, and then put it together. It's just like tons of ideas that never stop in your brain. So you can cut, you should cut this and shape it more. I'm just showing you guys how it looks. Just want you to see. And I'm probably going to hurt myself with this one. This likes to get me here. There we go. That was better. Make sure that it's secure. This is a good way to put your name on it. So I usually don't use the 14 inches. I usually use 10 and 12 inches. So this is a little bigger than I normally do. I'm used to the felt or the foam just covering the whole entire ring all the way into the bar. So this is an example of what you guys can do. Let me get her hung up. Like I said, I usually use a smaller ring size so it goes completely around the center. There you go. That's your 3D spider Halloween wreath. And that's one way of doing it. Now I'm going to go show you another way of how to decorate this style. Okay, so now we're going to do Welcome Fall, which is like a harvest wreath. And I didn't use my loops on this. I like it just like this. But you're going to see how you could fill it out with your decorations. So before I glue stuff, I like to place it on my product first. So I only have 4 pumpkins today. So you want to place everything where you want it and how it's going to look before you just start gluing it. Because you may not like it after it's done. Or you may say, oh, it'll look better this way, but I already glued it. And then you ruin your mesh. So I like to place mine as I go. Place it, look at it, make sure that's what you want before you glue it. All the way around. Now, as we put this on, it's going to fill up and it's going to look really pretty. Fall is just one of my favorite seasons. I love the colors. So I always like the red and orange leaves. It reminds me of upstate New York. And I mean upstate, like Niagara Falls and beyond. So here we go. So you're going to see as it starts to stick out, it's going to fill up your wreath. So you're not going to have that big gap there. And then you're going to take each piece, once you decide this is where you want everything, then you're going to glue it on. And this is why we place everything first. Because, like I said, if it's glued, you ruin your fabric. You can't take it off. So there's no mistakes you can make with this. You got to be very careful. So I always double check, look at it, see if I like it, move it around. So, and the leaves are just, they're so cute. So I'm using leaves with your fall pumpkins. I like to take my little pine cones, craft pine cones, like I show you in my other tutorials. I always use a lot of pine cones. So you can take them, place them where you want them. And I have a lot of the red leaves. Like I said, they're my favorite. You can double it up, make it as full as you need to. So this is about where I want everything, so we're going to go ahead and glue it on. Okay, so how I'm putting these on is where your pipe cleaners are. Not on your fabric, on the pipe cleaners. I am putting glue in between. Then I'm laying it on in between it. Hold it down with your scissors or whatever you have. It does not take much for this to stick. And that's how we apply it. So you don't have, you see any of your pipe cleaners where you folded everything. And see how full it's starting to get? So what you want to do after you get your centers, and I still even like to go up even more. So like with this one, to me it's not full enough. I got it in there, so I'm going to put a little bit more. I'm going to put my leaf right there. Hold it in. And it does stick fast, so you don't have to worry about that, like I said before. So I like to have it a little bit out. Almost even with your poofs. So you're going to go ahead and just fill it up as much as you want. I'm going to put a couple of pine cones on it. This is an easy, very simple, does not take a lot of time, easy process, and you can do this type of wreath with any holiday or any kind of wreath you want. Just you make it your own. Be creative, make it your own. Remember what I said earlier. What one man thinks is ugly, another man thinks is beautiful. So nothing is ugly. Everything has beauty to it. So don't get discouraged and say, oh, I hate it. Be positive. Positive mind, positive thinking, beautiful stuff. So just put it in there. I still not have cleaned my, I'm going to have my husband do that. Clean that glue gun for me. So, as you can see, she is starting to look beautiful. Just have a few more. Put more in there. And I'm going to put some pine cones on her too. This is a beautiful little fall harvest wreath. I do have one that says harvest time as well. Like I said, this is my favorite holiday. So this is going to be a center on one of my next flowers. I have this one, I have this one, I have a lotus I'm getting ready to release. I have a whole bunch of different things that I'm going to be showing. So what I usually do is with your pine cones, you can either put it on the fabric or in between. It's up to you. I like to put it on the leaves. Gives it a little extra kick to it. Really pretty. And you can add as many as you want on there. So, and like I said, everybody has a different color they like. I like the olive green for some reason, for fall color. I do have one that I do that's orange and maroon. I love it. That'll be out in the next week or so as well. A bunch of different ones coming out. So you can do any type of floral design with this. It does not have to be just leaves and pumpkins. You can do anything. To be honest with you, I have never really made a bow. So I'm getting that pro bow. And I am very excited to mix bows in with my wreaths. I think it's going to be gorgeous. I'm excited to use that product. Very, very excited. So I can do so much more just adding a couple bows on things. So I'm going to just add a couple. So I kind of want to put some towards the center. Just a few. Don't need a lot. That's another thing you can do too. So I have orange leaves. If you want to just put around only the center to kick out that, you can. So you want to mix your colors, you can most certainly do that. I like it simple. To me is best. So to me it's just too much. So just put a couple little pine cones and call it a night. And then I'll hang her up. So you're going to cover this just like I did with my Halloween one. You're going to put either your foam or you can put your felt on the back. Either one is fine. I did notice with my foam, there's a smell to it, so I'm very sensitive with smells, so I don't know how anyone else is, but there is a smell to it. So when you open up the package, you want to do it in a highly ventilated area or bring it outside and open it because the smell is pretty strong. Very sensitive to smells and stuff. The older you get, the more sensitive you are. So here we go. So I am going to do a couple wreaths too on my grandbaby has Down syndrome. So I'm in the process of trying to put something together for that. Our breast cancer awareness is coming up in October. I already have 3 designs of wreaths for that, but I do want to do another one. It's a big organization. It's something I'm really, really happy to be part of, and we have one family a year with that. So there we go. So there you go. That's your welcome fall wreath. Simple, easy for beginners. You have your Halloween and you have your welcome fall. Thank you, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe. I need as many of you guys to subscribe as possible so I can continue to make these videos for you. Have a blessed night, and I'll see you in a few days.